Hey guys, Pyker here, and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Reach. We are on the final part of building our OKS space station. Because I've come to the realization that it's really hard to, well, it's not really hard, it's just very time consuming to build this space station because a lot of the parts are heavy and I launch them one at a time. So shut up. um, we are currently launching our Karbonite module into orbit in this little video clip. Also, just a fair warning, guys. I am awful at post commentary. Like, I have no idea what to talk about. I mean, everything's happening so fast on the screen that it's just like, how do I even keep up like with what I'm doing? All I know, so I'm gonna try my best at doing this because like I said, I'm awful at post commentary. I'm terrible. I'm way better like on the spot talking about stuff that I'm doing at the moment. So it's just harder for me to do post commentary. So if this sucks, I apologize. But we're just gonna do this quick run through of the parts that need to go together for the OKS space station. It's pretty simple. We got a Karbonite. Karbonite is useful for basically holding your Kerbals. A Karbonite with a Habring can hold up to 10 Kerbals. And what we have life support wise or agricultural wise on our space station right now can only support 5 Kerbals. So we'd have to put another agricultural module on the space station for us to successfully hold and keep 10 Kerbals alive. But we have the space for 10 Kerbals. Right here, I'm just transferring over some monopropellant because I managed to waste a lot of it, and that's there. There you go. There's your Karbonite module. It's on there. That took what, a minute 45 seconds compared to 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's the one bonus of post commentary is that I can actually do this. Okay, prepare your ears. Okay. I left this part in there at normal speed because it's a catastrophic failure. Because this happens, my flights, this happens at least 1 to 2 times every other launch. Sometimes I just get too aggressive with my angle of attack into the atmosphere and happen to tear off the top of my rockets. So yeah, I figured I'd leave this part in here and let you guys enjoy me fail miserably at trying to get a nice angle of attack to get into orbit. Get up about 5,000 meters, and then I start tipping over, and then I notice it start to go too far right about there. I was gonna actually deploy the Habring, but it needs a remote module to deploy it. I was just gonna deploy it and let it float into the ocean, but that unfortunately didn't work. But here's the successful launch! Yay! So yeah, this is the Habring. The Habring is an essential part to the Karbonite. The Karbonite is basically like the thing that actually that holds like compost and biomass and carbon dioxide and wastewater and all that stuff. It holds the life support and the waste for the living of our Kerbals. And the Karbonite ring or the Habring basically just gives you more room to hold Kerbals. So we bring up a Habring, and we're gonna get that thing docked onto our space station as well. And this is like, I would say, 2.5 hours of gameplay, all condensed into about 9 minutes. So yeah, and then once we get all these parts docked together, we're gonna cut to the space station. I'm gonna show you all of the things that we need to turn on, so to make the space station actually self-sufficient. But here we are docking our Habring. This is so awkward. Like I would be talking about like how much of a hard time I'm having docking this thing right now if I was actually doing it at at time or live. But this post commentary just kills me. There's like not really like what the hell am I supposed to say? Yeah, there's the Habring. It's deployed. There's the one piece that we brought it up with floating away, and now we're deorbiting it so we don't leave any space junk. I'm terrible at this. I'm sorry. Oh God. I think this is the PDU. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure this is the PDU. What do we do? Habring. Yeah, this is the PDU. Uh, I have a notebook next to me with the way to construct this habitat or to construct this space station. So this is actually the PDU, which is the power distribution unit, which basically it's a nuclear reactor. that will create power for our space station. So realistically, we don't need. I mean, realistically, we don't need solar panels, but I always like to put them on just in case something goes wrong, or we run out of fuel without me knowing it, or something along those lines. But this thing has enough uh, reactor stuff. I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called. I think it's uranium. I think it's called uranium in the game. So it has enough uranium to run for probably I don't know, 20 years, something like that. It's ridiculous how much the PDU actually holds, and then we actually take a thing of supplies up too with more reactor material to be used. So right now, I'm thinking that this space station, for as long as I play this game, this space station will be able to stay um, self-sufficient. And right now it's got, I mean, we had kind of a deadline. It needed we had like 4 days of life support really left to get this thing built. But now that the agricultural module and the Kerbitat are on there, it is completely self-sufficient right now. But I didn't turn anything on, so it's realistically not self-sufficient yet in the video yet. But once we go back and turn everything on, it'll be completely self-sufficient. And again, there we are, deorbiting more things, so we don't leave any more space junk. We just set them all on suborbital trajectories and go from there. And loud noises, I apologize for not the warning. This is our supplies. I did not put the weight. What's the word I'm looking for? I didn't even out the weight, so it tipped over to the right and exploded. I love the new explosions and the new explosion sounds. Like, look at this. This is so sweet. Just skips and then it just. It's like a skipping rock. I love that. I don't know why. Well, there's that. There's that. Those supplies. Those supplies are gone. But we had to use a 3 meter uh, fairing for this because it was quite a large load, and I actually started losing control of this. Uh, you can see it start to wobble right now, but I started to lose control of it um, right as the SRBs were about to burn out. Like right there, I lost control, and then the SRBs burned out, and I was like, yeah. See, if that was live, you guys would have been able to enjoy me like freaking out. Whatever. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, wobble. No wobbles. We basically burn as much of this stage. Basically, the first stage is the SRBs. The second stage is the big rocket, which we're burning right now. And I burn that until we get to about 20 kilometers at our Periaps or App. I can't remember, to be honest. Hold on, let me look it up. Let me look. Let me look. I think it's Periaps or Apoaps. I don't know. Whatever. Whatever the freaking lowest point is, about 20 kilometers, we ditch that stage and let it fall back into the atmosphere as well. And I also with this supply run, I actually ran out of fuel just as I got to the space station. So right where I was at, I freaking what's I'm looking for, had to do it all with RCS. Like I completely ran out of fuel, and I was like, oh shit. So but I did have enough RCS and the fact that I ran out of fuel right next to the space station was astounding to me. But I did have enough RCS fuel to get us docked together with the space station. So we are going to let me dock here really quickly in 4 times normal speed. And then we're gonna go over to our space station. I'm gonna show you guys everything that you need to turn on to make this space station self-sufficient. So we will be doing that as soon as we get this all together and get that piece off of there. That's just me renaming stuff. All right, we're gonna go over there to the space station and we will go over that stuff. Alright guys, we are at our space station, which is fully sufficient right now, because I already have everything turned on, because I put it all together probably a day or two ago, so it's been operational. But first thing you guys want to go to is to go to your control center, your C3, and you want to turn on your command. So you activate your command, and I put on the governor, and basically that makes sure that you're not over using your resources. It basically makes sure that your efficiency is at 100%, so you don't go over. So if we turn off the governor, our efficiency is at 163%, which means we'll be burning through all of our stuff faster than we need to. So you go to your command center and flip that on, activate that. Basically, it just creates punch cards, which allows Kerbals to work in other parts of the space station. Then you go to your agricultural module. Wow, couldn't think. I was going to say Kerbitat, but it's the aeroponics module, sorry. And you're going to want to turn on you're going to activate your greenhouse, and you're going to activate your purify. Your greenhouse is obviously for you guys to make food, and your purify is to use like biomass and use all that stuff up from the recyclables and whatnot. That might actually not even be true, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And then I also flip on the governor for that, so it only runs at 100% efficiency. Basically, and then I have one guy, I think, in each one of these modules. I think I have one. Yeah, I think I have one guy in each one, other than the Kerbitat. I think I might have. Where do I have two? I could have swore I had two Kerbals somewhere. Not sure where though. Okay, so there's one in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, let's see here. Well, we've got 5 Kerbals on board. Where are they all at? I don't know. How come I can't click on this crew hatch? That's weird. Okay, Hangel's in the command pod. All right. Well, okay. So aeroponic module, you want to turn all that stuff on. This is just you can't do anything other than deploy this. So this is just to give space to the aeroponics module to grow food and all that fun stuff. Then we flip on our Kerbitat, which holds it's where our Kerbals can live and sleep and do all their regular stuff. And basically, we activate the composter and activate the actual habitat so that Kerbals can use it. The composter is obviously what it sounds. It's compost. So you create biomass so your aeroponics module can use the biomass that is created from the Kerbitat. So it's just a round robin thing. And then our PDU, which is down here, so it looks like a nuclear reactor. It's got little nuclear reactor symbols on it. We just activate the PDU, and I put the governor on that as well, so it cannot go over the thingy-mabob. This thing has been in orbit for, what is this? I think it's 4 days. I think 4 hours. I don't know what that is. That might be 4 days or 4 hours. I could be wrong. Either way, it has not used. It's used 0.10 of our enriched, whatever it's called, enriched something or other. I think it's enriched uranium. I could be wrong. But I mean, like I said, it's been up here for 4 days, and it's been powering this entire thing, and it's only used 0.10 of the enriched. We have 500, I think, or 250, and then I have the supplies module down here, which is it's got a bunch of spare parts on it and a bunch of enriched uranium for the reactor. So this thing can literally run forever for the most part. So we don't really ever have to worry about power. I also brought in some life support too, just in case. But basically, if we take a look at our life support monitoring, it says we have 703 days worth of food remaining and all that, or worth of basically life support. But that is because I have an overflow of life support from here, which I didn't really think about, because I mean it would be fine if I didn't fly this up at all. It would be completely fine. I wouldn't even have. I didn't even have to bring this up. I just kind of wanted to just to be safe. But we have 703 days worth of life support left on this, which is pretty freaking good for 5 Kerbals. That's pretty impressive, if you ask me. That number will go down. It will level off eventually. Like once we use the overflow of life support that we already have, it'll probably level off, and then it'll be completely self-sufficient, and we won't have to worry about it at all. We might have to bring some like spare parts or some machinery parts, or like just random little things up to the space station just to refill it, so our Kerbals can keep working and doing their thing in the space station. And I honestly highly doubt we'll have to bring up any enriched uranium for our PDU for a very, very long time. So that's pretty much it. This was a horrible, horrible tutorial-esque thing, but our space station is up and running, and I am super stoked about it. So this gave me basically an idea. Basically, the whole reason I wanted to do this is, one, I wanted to have a space station because space stations are just sweet. That's like the thing that everyone builds in Kerbal Space Program. It's an easy thing to build. It's fun to construct. It's it's an easy way to learn how to do rendezvous and all that fun stuff. Um, so space stations are they're like the keystone of the beginner player for Kerbal Space Program. So I love building space stations. They're just always going to be fun to build for me. Where was I going with that? But oh yeah, so this gave me a self-sufficient space station, and this basically gave me the idea of what we need for a base, which we're probably going to build a base on. If I had to take a guess, Duna, because Duna is probably the closest, and it's probably the easiest to set a base up on. I was thinking about setting one up on Eve, so we can get a carborundum, I think that's what it is. Not carbonium, it's carborundum. Mining base set up on Eve, but I think that's going to be a lot harder than it sounds, just because of the gravity and the atmosphere of Eve. The gravity is ridiculous, and the atmosphere is like 80% thicker than what it is on Kerbin. So the easiest way I think we're going to be able to do that is, one, to build the base, we'll have to land a bunch of stuff separately with wheels, get it all connected, and then decouple wheels off of the modules, and then we'll have to build a plane that's a single stage plane that can reach Eve and come back, which I think is going to be a lot harder than it sounds. I have a general idea of how I'm going to do it, but we have to wait for a what's the word I'm looking for? We have to wait for a transfer window to Eve, and there isn't one coming up, not for a while anyways. Let's see if there is one even remotely close. Eve. Oh, it's a year and 9 days away from now. Elu's closer. Yeah, so it's a ways off before we get a transfer window with Eve, unfortunately. So that's going to have to wait for a while, but there is definitely a way that I want to go about doing that. It basically involves building a shuttle and then building a rocket to fly to use the shuttle. So the shuttle doesn't have to use any fuel of its own. The shuttle just has to get into orbit on its own, and then we'll dock a big-ass rocket underneath it and connect it to the rocket and just fly it like that and go about it that way. I think that'll be a lot easier to do than trying to, because we don't have like a carborundum reserve or anything, so we're gonna have to figure something out to get to Eve and be able to build a base for carborundum on there. Or we could send a satellite out to the sun and collect carborundum that way, but it's gonna be hard rendezvousing back with that satellite that collects carborundum. So we'll figure it out. Once you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments, should we go to Eve and try to set up a mining base, or should we just say screw it and build a satellite and try to get it to the sun so we can harvest carborundum from the sun? So let me know in the comments, and I'm not sure what we're going to do next episode. I'll figure that out in between. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this episode, be sure to drop a like at the bottom of the video. It does help me out greatly, and I do appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss an episode of Kerbal Reach. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see all of you next time.